Hello everyone, welcome to a course on Node.js. So today we'll be learning the basics of Node. So let's get straight into it. So first you'll need Google Chrome so that you can download Node on your system. So I've opened Google Chrome over here. Just search for Node.js. And click on this link called as nodejs.org, and from here you can download Node.js. Always download the LTS version because this is the most stable version. This is the one with the latest features, but it might be buggy. So always go for LTS version. Download this. So now that this has been downloaded, click on this installer and just click on continue, next, agree, install. So now it's saying that it has been installed. Move to bin. So to check that, I'll need a terminal. You can either open your the terminal that is there on your system, or you can download something called as Hyper Terminal. Just search for Hyper Terminal on Google. You'll get this hyper.is. So this is a very good terminal. So download for your operating system and open your terminal. So after opening your terminal, let us check if Node has been installed or not. So for that, you have to type node-v. So this will show you the version of the Node that you've installed. So let's verify. It says 18.16.0. So that is exactly the version that we downloaded. So this proves that Node has been downloaded and installed correctly. All right. So now we'll start our first Node project. We'll build a simple server using Node.js. So first, we'll cd into our desktop. Okay. And in our desktop, we'll create a file called as server. All right. So you can either do it from the terminal, or in your desktop, just create a new folder, call it server. All right. And go to the server from your desktop. All right. cd server. All right. So here I'll open this server in my Visual Studio Code by doing code space period. So as you can see, it's an empty folder. Yeah. So after opening Visual Studio Code, what we'll do is we'll open the terminal by going into just search for the terminal over here if you're not aware of how to open it. Click on this. So this will show that you can open the terminal by going into view and terminal, or alternatively you can also use your keyboard shortcut such as control and tilde. All right. So we'll open the terminal over here. So by default it opens in the one in the project that you have opened in Visual Studio Code. So the path will be server. So what we'll do now is write a command called as npm init. So this will initialize your Node.js project. So let me hit enter. Okay. So now this has given us certain instructions that we need to provide. We need to provide certain certain inputs for it. So the package name is server by default, which is the name of the folder that we've given. We'll hit enter. Version is 1.0.0. We'll hit enter. Description is, you can write your own description if you want. Simple node server. The entry point is index.js. That's fine. Test command, we'll leave it empty for now. Git repository empty. Keywords, author, license and all, we'll keep it empty. And it's gonna say, is this okay? We'll do yes. So now it has created a package.json for us with all of the inputs that we have given over here. For example, you can see name is server, version is 1.0.0, description is simple node server, the entry point is index.js. Exactly as you can see over here, the package.json is created. So this will give us information about the entire project. All right. So we'll create an entry point over here called as index.js. It should be the same as what we've mentioned over here. All right. We'll create a index.js. All right. And let us check if this index.js, if we can run this index.js. So all you have to do is console.log. Inside, I'll write my first node project and I'll save. So how do you run this index.js? So to run the index.js, all you have to do is node, come to your terminal and type node index.js. So you got the output in the console. As you've done console.log, my first node project, you can see it over here, my first node project. All right. So our goal is to create a simple server in Node.js. So to create a server, what we'll do is we'll get a helping framework. You can that is Express. So usually we use Express.js to create servers, web servers in Node.js. So as you can see, Express is a Node.js framework that helps us build web servers and web applications. All right, we'll click on this link and we'll follow certain instructions. So when we open express.js.com, it says that Express is a fast, unopinionated, minimalist web framework for Node.js. It is one of the most popular framework for building web servers. Fine. So the first instruction is to install Express.js. So to install Express.js, we have to do npm install express. -- save can be omitted in the latest versions of npm. All right. So we have to copy this npm install express, copy it, come to the terminal, paste it. Maybe we can directly paste it in our Visual Studio Code terminal. So to clear the terminal, I can do Control L. All right. Control L on Mac will clear the terminal. So just keep a watch on this thing. So when I do npm install express, let's see what happens to package.json. I'm going to hit enter. So Express was downloaded from the npm registry and it has been added to our project in dependencies. So we have Express 4.18.2. all right, which is the latest version that there is. Fine. So we've installed Express right now. So the next thing that we have to do is we have to create a simple server. So for that, we'll come back to Express.js and come to getting started. All right. So in getting started, they have given us instructions on how to create your Express file. So first you have to do mkdir, your name of your server. You go into your server, cd your server, npm init, which we've done earlier. We've left the entry point as index.js as we've seen earlier, and then we've done npm install express. So all of this part has been done. So let us go to our first program called as hello world. Fine. So they've given a simple example over here to create a Hello World application using express.js. So what we can do currently is we'll copy this and paste it and run it. We'll see what happens. Before we understand, we'll see what happens. All right. So how do you run this? As you can see, to run this, we have to do node and the node space name of your JS file. All right. So we'll do that. Node index.js. I think we have to save it first. Yeah. And then we'll do node index.js. So it says example app listening on port 3000. So let us open port 3000. We'll go to our browser again. You have to do localhost 3000. So as you can see, hello world has been returned from our node project. So let us verify, cross verify it, that is coming from our node project itself. So to verify it, what we'll do is hello node.js and express. Once I save this, I need to run the server again. All right. So I have to stop this running server by coming to the terminal and typing Control-C. This is going to stop the server. And to start it again, have to do node index.js. So every time you make any change, we have to do node index.js. To avoid that, what we'll do is we'll do npx nodemon index.js. So nodemon is a package that is downloaded from npm. So npx stands for node package executioner. Okay, it will execute nodemon instead of installing it. So we'll do npx nodemon index.js so that every time we make any change, it gets reflected directly in the browser without us having to stop and start the server. So npx nodemon index.js. Hit enter. So as you can see, example app listening on port 3000. Let's reload this. It says hello node.js and express. So let us change this again. Hello node.js, express and MongoDB. These are the things that we'll be learning. Node.js, express and MongoDB to create our first server. All right. So save it. As you can see, we didn't have to start or stop the server. It directly ran since we are running it in nodemon. All right. Nodemon is a package. It can be split into node monitor. So it will monitor this file for any changes, and then if there are any changes, it will run this file index.js. So let us reload this. As you can see, hello node.js, express and MongoDB has been outputted from the server. How do we know that? We can come here, right click, inspect, can go to the network tab. All right. And then we'll reload. Okay. Coming to all, you can see localhost. This is the response provided. Hello node.js, express and MongoDB. When we come to the headers, you can see it is given from the port 3000 from our localhost. All right. So this was the basics of Node.js. Next, we'll get into how to create different routes. But before that, let us understand the code. So the first line is importing Express. Okay. So after we install Express, we need to import this Express into our index.js file. So const express is equal to require express is the way we bring in Express into our file. Okay, and then we'll initialize a variable called as app to the Express package that we've just imported in the first line. And then we'll define a port number. We've given a const port is equal to 3000. So this part is our route. So our first part is creating the route and then creating the server. Always remember, keep this at the very last. So we've created a simple route called as slash. To explain this, we've given app.get. We've given a get method to respond this thing once we hit this particular route. So app.get, once you hit slash route, that is the same as this one. Once you hit slash route, this is the output that is given. All right. And then we are responding rest.send. So in the response, we are sending hello Node.js, Express and MongoDB. All right. So this has two parts. One is the route and one is the middleware. This is called as the middleware part. So in the middleware, we have access to the request and the response. Request is the data that is sent from the client to the server. Response is the data that is sent from the server to the client. Okay. Rest.send, hello Node.js, Express and MongoDB is what we are sending. And then finally, this is our route. Just to play around with it a little more, I'll do first route and save app.get slash first route. I've saved it. Okay. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to do rest.send. So what it means is in the response, send this thing. Okay. So whatever you give over here will be sent as the response. Rest.send hello Node.js, Express and MongoDB. And the route I've given the name as first route. So let us come back to this application. So as you can see, once I go to slash, it says cannot get slash because I don't have any route currently mentioned as slash. So I've changed the name to first route. So to get the same response which I was getting before, we'll have to do slash first route and hit enter. So as you can see, after we hit this endpoint called as localhost 3000 first route, we'll get the response from the server. Okay. And then coming to the running of the server part, we have to do app.listen. So app.listen is something that tells your Express server to listen to this port. Okay. So this port is mentioned as 3000. Every time we send a request from the browser from localhost 3000, okay, the Express server is listening to any request that is coming from the client. All right. And then it takes a callback and it just console logs that the Express application, Express server is running. Yes. So this has been a simple explanation of how to create a server using Node.js and Express.